When we got out to the fleet to land on the Indefatigable, we realised what was up. We looked round, there were 3 other huge fleet carriers, including ourselves. I think it was the Indomitable, the Illustrious and the Victorious, all equally as big as ourselves. The KG-5 is a battleship, masses of cruisers, and a large number of destroyers.
When you think of it now, I mean, 2 battleships, 2 cruiser squadrons, and a lot of about 14 to 16 destroyers, 4 aircraft carriers, fleet carriers, and then of course there was all the backup supply force with us as well. We were quite a large little force.
Because it's straight into briefing, we were told that our target was to be the Palembang oilfields in Sumatra. We were equally told that this is going to be a very tough target. We know the oilfields are surrounded by Japanese fighter aerodromes. They also have a massive anti-aircraft box barrage there, and that several squadrons of American heavy bombers had tried to get in to bomb it sort of a month before us, and they'd had such heavy losses they were beaten off and never managed to drop any bombs at all, which cheered us up immensely, of course.
The idea behind Palembang was to do it in 2 phases: an initial strike, then retire, refuel the ships, resupply ammunition, etc., then go back in again and attack the target a second time. We started up by preparing for Palembang with operating 4 aircraft carriers, fleet carriers, together so that we could fly off a strike of about 50 Avengers with 100 fighters. Also, we had Fireflies for doing ground attack, and also Corsairs did ground attack as well as providing the cover for the Avengers.
Well, after the Tirpitz operations and a bit of convoy work, we went back down to the Solent and transferred onto the American Avenger, which was a beautiful aircraft off the Barracuda. It's got a bomb bay rather than have the bombs slung underneath outside. And it's got 2.5s firing forward and another 0.5 in a turret at the back and another 303 firing underneath, which made us feel better because in the Barracuda we felt a bit defenceless.
If it had a fault, it couldn't dive as vertically as the old Barracuda, but so they tended to call it a semi-dive bomber or a glide bomber, matter of interpretation. But it couldn't dive at the steep angle that a Barracuda could. But then its wings didn't fall off either, so...
Grumman Hellcat was a lovely, solid, built aeroplane, excellent deck landing aircraft, good weapon carrier, manoeuvrable, much liked by all who flew it. We were escort for strike aircraft and medium cover over the fleet, and we operated from HMS Indomitable.
We had the Indefatigable, which had a 40 Seafire wing, which is a sea adaptation of the Spitfire, a 21 dive bomber squadron, which is ourselves of Grumman Avengers, and 12 of the new ferry development, which was the ferry Firefly, which was a fighter bomber. Very efficient. They could carry rockets and all sorts.
And I don't know who invented them, whether the Yanks did or we did. I have a feeling that we did. But they added another dimension to the capability of the Firefly, which was then a very good ground attack fighter, as well as long-range reconnaissance. Our job was to go in bottom front again to strafe certain key buildings. A pump house, I know we were told, if we could put the pump house out of action, the whole thing would be out of action for months. We had an excellent model of it.
We had on board one of the Dutch builders of the refinery who pointed out from a model all the major items that we had to try and destroy to put the oil refinery out of action.